Hi, I'm Jennifer Janisch, owner of Adored Salon and Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions. I'm obsessed with curly hair. I cut it, style it, and extend it, and this podcast is all about my curly girl obsessions that stretch far beyond just curly hair. Hey you, it's me, Jennifer Janisch from the Curly Girls Obsessions, which you are listening to right now or watching, and Adored Hair Salon, Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions, premium, luxury, naturally textured hand-tied hair from India. And Adored Salon specializes in curly hair and curly hair extensions. um, so super important to give you that background. If you've been following me, you know that I love curly hair, the beauty industry, all the things, right? So um let's discuss today. This is going to be like a little hair business conversation. My last two podcasts were kind of like put you in the motivational mood, discuss something from my past that spurred me forward in my life. And today is definitely going to be about business. So, um, one of my other favorite topics. The thing is that I've been a hairstylist for 35 years. 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I became a curly hair specialist. 15 years ago, I went down the road of understanding hair extensions, trying out many different types, learning, doing all the things and settling on my favorite, which is hand tied hair for many reasons. If you scroll back in podcasts, you could find multiple podcasts that discuss why hand tied hair extensions, I believe, are the best for the client and the stylist overall as a whole. Let me shut off my notifications here. Um, so today, well, not today, just in general, from the experience that I have and the people that I know within the industry, because our extensions are sold worldwide, right? And we definitely had a boom of hair extension artists within the last like 5 to 7 years in the industry. And it just continues, right? And so, titling this podcast, so you're a hair extension artist, and so is every other hairstylist, because now, like, I've noticed the slowdown in education. And it's not even just the slowdown in education in hair extensions, it's the slowdown in education in the hair industry as a whole. And why has this happened? It's happened because during COVID, everything went crazy, right? Like people wanted their stylist. They kept saying that we were essential, that why weren't we working? All the things, mental health, the health of the hair, um, just everything under the sun. After COVID, we were like skyrocketed into stardom. And every business in 2021, like, boom, went through the roof. And I can tell you, as a hairstylist for 35 years, I've seen the ebb and flows of all the things. I've seen recessions, I've seen downturns in markets, I've seen crashes, I've seen it all. And with hair extensions in the like Caucasian community, they started booming when I started doing them. And I always give credit to Jersey Shore. They paved the way for hair extensions in this community, and it continues to grow, right? Because they started out with their clip-in extensions and they had hair to their ass. Was it blended? Nobody cared, right? Because they started it, to be truthful. Like they were one of the first like major reality shows that everybody watched. And with that came the love of hair extensions. And I mean, everybody's always wanted to be beautiful, but they definitely added to it and made it acceptable. And so when I first started, it honestly was like the drug that people could not get enough of when they learned that I was a hair extension artist. My last podcast, I discuss the rise of that career and how quickly I was able to build a career with clients and make really good money behind the chair, working minimal amount of time behind the chair because I added in a service that one, not a lot of people were doing. Two, um, cost wise, it definitely 5x'd my ticket sales behind the chair within a matter of minutes. It was pretty crazy. And key thing, I was willing to do the work to become discovered in a time when social media really didn't exist. I created a website. I put my kids in daycare. I made pamphlets on Vistaprint that I took to med spas, plastic surgeons, hair removal places, like you name it, I was there. I was doing the work in order to get noticed at a time when it wasn't so easy with social media. I didn't even have an email list. So, and the salon didn't even send emails out to notify people that this was a service that we were providing. So, I really and truly feel like pioneering myself at that time through these uncharted waters. Like when I became a curly hair specialist, we bounced off of the Weedod website. That's the company that I was certified with originally, becoming a curl specialist. The website itself had a salon locator with a zip code, and clients would come to that website to purchase product, to learn about curly hair. They would find the salon locator, they'd put in their zip code, and they would find a salon within a certain radius. And then we were able to have our photos on there. Me having curly hair really, really helped. And then you were also able to get reviews from these clients on this site. Boom, huge, 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 huge. And people came in droves. Like I said, I went in that salon from 0 clients to $50,000 behind the chair in less than a year, working 2 days every other week, 3 days every other week. And I really liked my 3-day paycheck. And that was how I decided to pick up one extra day every other week doing hair extensions. And then I doubled that income on 3 days a week the second year to I doubled it and then some to $112,000 as a stylist behind the chair. That was the service dollars. Okay. That so I made commission on that, plus I made tips from my clients and then retail commission. So, as a stylist, like if you're in a commission salon, that's how you make money. Those are your 3 avenues of making money behind that chair, right? So, I knew that with having 4 children, a husband, a home, all the things, that I needed to make the biggest impact in the shortest amount of time. And why not with a service that I could charge a what did I say? 5 times as much per hour behind the chair than I would normally, right? Enter in hair extensions. Thank you, Jersey Shore. So, and I also talk about how long that build was. So, 8 months into working at that salon was when I determined that I liked my 3-day a week paycheck better than my 2-day a week paycheck. And that was doing curly hair. So, I decided to add in that extra day. I go and get certified in extensions, and it takes me literally 9 months to get my first paying client at that time. Now, we are going back, like I said, 15 years ago, pre social media, at least social media that people were really marketing themselves on. So, um, And I was able to build it in that short of amount of time. And it was a beautiful thing. So, but I also understood the ability to hustle, right? I'm definitely not going to feed you in this podcast the story of like work 3 days, make $1 million and let ChatGPT do all the work for you. Absolutely not. That's not how it works. I don't care what industry you're in. Um, it's not like that. Being a commissioned hairstylist is like owning your own business behind the chair, because while you're under the umbrella of the commissioned salon, you have to show up, you have to look good, you have to do your marketing for yourself if the salon doesn't do it. And even if the salon does market you, you need social presence of what you do and how good it looks. It's just the way it is, right? So, and if you're in a suite, nobody's doing that for you. So you need to show up, look good, you have to make all your appointments. You have to shampoo your clients. You have to do all the things, your laundry, your this, your that, blah, 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 whatever. Business within a business. At the end of the day, you have to be really good at self promotion in order to be a hairstylist, because even if the salon feeds you the clients, you've got to deliver the end result that the client wants, and it's got to be spot on or they're never coming back. So going back to that curly haired specialist with that website and the ability for people to find me through this large website was huge. That also debunks a lot of stuff that stylists see online that I want to, contrary to public opinion, the client is not going to the brand to look for a stylist that is doing hair extensions, right? Absolutely false. Absolutely 100% false. How do I know this? Because when I started, I told you that success story with that brand that had the salon locator on their site. That brand no longer has a salon locator that works to that ability. And we don't get people from that site anymore because the site doesn't do it. And we have a website that we've paid tons of money into over the years for search engine optimization, people searching curly hair, like they're going to get pumped back to the salon because of what they're searching, because we've put this money in the back end in order for that to happen. That site, if it was really smart, it would have continued down this road to support the stylist who first had the product brand and promoted it for them and made them into the superstars that they are. But that's a story for another day and whatever. But owning the extension line, I know that people come to the site often to search out stylists that have trained with me and my team to understand curly hair extensions. If you go on Instagram and look at adored underscore signature underscore hand tied underscored hair, I know it's long, it just is what it is. And you go to my posts, and any posts where people are commenting salons is a client looking for salons in their area that provide the service. It's huge. So, as a brand, I can tell you that I understand what helps a stylist grow because I am in their shoes every day, right? We want to be seen in the most possible places in order to get recognition and get a client. And so that's one way to promote yourself, is be kind of like an affiliate with a company that is going to help promote you. But as if we go back to this bubble, right, of all these hairstylists also becoming hair extension artists, and now you're sitting there like boo-hooing it because a lot of hairstylists are now extension artists. Let's take a minute back into time, right? We go to hair school. What are the things we learn? We learn how to cut hair. We learn how to color hair. We learn how to perm hair. We learn how to relax hair. And we learn about the stages of growth. We learn about the scalp health. And we learn how to keep the hair in the best condition possible, right? And from there, whoo, You go, you fly, little bird, and either you fly and become an eagle, or you're a pigeon sitting on the ground eating the shit that's given to you, right? And so let's use those two analogies. The eagle is soaring so high that they're getting clients left and right, right? And that eagle could just be doing straight haircuts and blowouts, but they market themselves properly. Um, they have figured out the ways how to do this, and it is so easy. Besides marketing themselves, they show up, they look good, they do their job, and they do it well, they deliver results, and they know how to speak to the client. They understand customer service, and they also know how to get their clients back. The pigeon, on the other hand, is sitting there in the back room complaining with the victim mentality every day about how the salon is not delivering them clients. Mary is definitely getting more clients than me. I think the receptionist likes her, blah, 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 right? There's always that victim in that case. And let me tell you, in the salon, sometimes they run rampant. But again, it's just society, right? There's eagles and there's pigeons, and there's some robins in between, right? But if you're going to be me and you're going to be on my team, you're going to figure out how to be an eagle. So if we go back to that statement, I'm a hair extension artist, and so is every other hairstylist. What is it that's going to set you apart from every other hairstylist? One, if you're an extension artist and you're successful, you're definitely not the pigeon in the back room bitching and moaning about what so and so is getting over you. Um, if you're successful, you're the eagle and you're out there searching out your clients. And we've all seen how successful the color industry is right now, right? It really and truly has popped off. Like, you're going to see on your feed color after color after color. As an extension artist, I'm like, they also have hair extensions in, but the person who's promoting this is a color educator. They're not talking about the extensions, they're only talking about the color. And everybody and their brother is fitting, 25 to 30 people, sometimes even 100 people in a room to watch them foil someone's head or paint bleach lightener on and the secrets to their toners. And everybody's like, oh, right? There's hundreds of thousands of hairdressers that are colorists because all of us know how to be colorists. We're taught that in hair school. When it comes to being an extension artist, there are now classes about extensions in hair school that are like 4 to 6 hours long. That's like a bleep in your extension education. If you really want to be good at it, you got to dive in and you got to be willing to spend the money to understand all the pros and the cons and the how to's, because there's a lot to hair extensions. So then when you think of it that way, it's not just like slapping color on someone's hair. Doing a hair extension service is an elevated service. The cost warrants it from the start. If you are a serious hair extension artist, your clients get a consultation. That's number one. Number two is, in that consultation, they are filling out a contract. There is no bones about it. Everything, when you're talking this dollar amount and someone's hair, there has to be a contract in place. If you go to Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions and comment contract on any of the posts, you will get sent a link that will give you the Adored Salon extension contract that you can easily download and edit for yourself. Obviously, check with your attorney, make sure it fits all the legal boxes in your state for it to be up to par. But that's the second piece of setting yourself apart in a consultation, showing your clients that you mean business, and also that you're such a good business owner that you're tracking your clients with this contract. The contract is very detailed. You can write everything on there, and you know what Mary got on March 16th of 2020 and what she's going to get on March 16th of 2025. If she didn't like this or that, you have tweaked it along the way. It's been recorded and edited all the way through. You have your track record, right? And then you also have in that contract a cancellation clause. Um, when you first start doing hair extensions, they're going to take you all day. It's a long process. And if someone cancels the night before or doesn't show up and then they call you and they're like, oh, hey, I want my deposit back, and you've already purchased the hair, you've custom colored it, you've done all the things. No, you're not getting your money back because I'm going to be out the money of the cost of your hair. And oh, not to mention my 8 hours of sitting here now twiddling my thumbs doing nothing. So that's also a point to be known. Does this happen? I've been doing extensions for 15 years, and it's actually happened to me twice where someone has not shown up and then acted like I was a lunatic because I was like, okay, well, now you're going to have to make another deposit for your appointment. And by the way, like, if you don't show up for this next appointment, we're done. There's no more business between the two of us because one, you don't respect my time. And two, I don't have time to waste like this. I got, like I said, 4 kids at home, a husband, a business, multiple businesses to run. I don't have time to sit here and not be that person for you. So, very important with the contract. And then let's bring us to even the point of getting the client, right? I talked to you earlier about the fact that when I started, there was like no Instagram. There, Facebook was being used, but it really and truly, people were not promoting themselves on there. I would put pictures on there every now and then, but being at the stage of life I was at, I'd be like, ugh, I don't want them to judge me for putting this out there, right? Now I'm totally past that. Like, I am like, business, bring it, no matter how I gotta promote it. I'm doing it because, like, what is that? Like uh, it, it- I don't know. I don't know what crazy slogan I'm looking for to say, but like, hands off. I don't care. Business is business. I'm putting it out there all over the place because I've got 3 income buckets that need to be filled between the salon. Well, actually, 4: the salon, myself behind the chair, the extension line, and then the education bucket. So you've got to promote yourself everywhere. You've got to be willing to put in the work. And we had that bubble, like I said, where in 2020, we were deemed essential. And just prior to 2020 was the massive movement within hand tied, where there was so much marketing on social media. Everybody and their brother was talking about hair extensions. The consumer knew so much about hair extensions. They were seeing it everywhere. Everybody that they thought was getting hair extensions and they wanted to be a part of it too, kind of like that FOMO mentality. They wanted it, just like Louis Vuitton, the never fill bag. You started seeing everybody wearing it and then everybody wanted it, right? Extensions were the same thing. The big companies that had the name and the marketing behind them started pushing it out into mainstream. It was being marketed all over. And then we had 2020, COVID, us becoming essential and people wanting us because they couldn't have us, right? So when that whole thing broke and we were back into the market and the industry was flowing, people were spending money like crazy. Why? Because they didn't spend any money for a long time and they had it to spend. 2021, this is crazy. 2021 was the biggest year in my company for it was one of the biggest years in Adored Salon for extensions. It was the biggest year in Adored Salon for extensions. It was the biggest year of sales with Adored Signature Hand Tied Hair. And the education at that time, I was just doing one on one classes. The education, you would not believe how many people, I want to say something like 33 stylists came to me for one-on-one education days at $3,500 a pop. Like it was nothing, right? And now, 2024, here we are, right? People have totally, or we're in 2025, sorry. People have like tighten the reins on their spending, right? Where we had an election year. Election years are always rough. Just ask me. For 35 years of being a hairstylist, there have been like what, 8 election years in there. People always tighten the reins when it comes to spending. The last 3 or 4, I feel, have been even more so, right? People are scared. They don't know what's going on. There is a great divide within the country. And it also has to do with this great thing that we know and love for marketing for us, social media. Word spreads like fire, whether it's true or false, right? And so that brings me to, we had the bubble. Everybody knew about it. Everybody became certified in extensions. Either they were certified in a legit class or they watched YouTube, taught themselves, whatever. And now it feels like everybody is a hair extension artist in the industry, and it's harder to get the clients. Let me tell you, it's not harder to get the clients because there's more hairstylists doing hair extensions. Because here's the thing, every hairstylist has their own group of clients, right? There is their own bucket of clients, just like I said, like Adored Salon bucket, Jennifer Janisch bucket, Adored Signature bucket, education bucket. Those buckets need to be filled with income, right? In Adored Salon, there's me, Jackie, Chloe, Celia, and Alyssa. Each one of them has a bucket that is filled with their own clients. They don't need my clients. I don't need their clients, but I will tell you there, we do have a unique, um, what's like a unique thought process. We do all work with it as like a team. We share, we work together, the clients, it just works out, right? But that's the way I can explain it. These buckets of clients are their own. And so their clients come in, majority of them come into us for curly haircut style, scalp treatments, hair detox, those things, right? They might know that we do hair extensions or they came into us for hair extensions, right? But that's not the bucket that I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the bucket of clients that comes in for hair services other than hair extensions. If they don't know that we do hair extensions, we try to make it obvious that we do hair extensions. We have hair extensions hanging up in various areas of the salon, and they're always in waiting to be installed into the next extension client's hair, right? Usually. So there's always something that's been prepped and waiting, and it's out. And 9 times out of 10, a client's going to walk past those extensions and they're going to be like, what is that? Like, how is their hair hanging there? A lot of people just don't even know that there is curly hair extensions. So they're mesmerized by this. And then, secondly, we tell them, right? This is all just happening subconsciously in our subconscious, and it's just not even thought about because it's not there, at least not thought to be there with the purpose to spur on interest. It's just there because we've done it for another client and it's waiting. But what it does is it makes the client see it. They want to know what it is. They are intrigued when they hear what it is because, like I said, not a lot of people even know that that exists. They know that straight extensions exist. And then it starts the conversation at the chair of what we do and why, right? So, what I'm getting at is that while the bubble existed and everybody wanted them in the past, doesn't mean it doesn't exist now. And it also doesn't mean that if 100 people were certified hair extension artists in 2018 and now 1,000 are certified hair extensions in 2025, that the pool of people who want extensions has shrunk because there's this many more people that are extension artists? Absolutely not. It's just making people aware that you, as the extension artist, are able to give them the hair that they've been dying for, right? They just don't even know that it's a thing. Like they think that they're left with their 10 strands and that's how life is going to exist forever and ever and ever, unless you offer up the golden piece to make them happy with their hair. We all know that feeling good and being your best and producing really well all relies on the fact of how you look and feel. Like at the end of the day, it's not superficial. If you look good, feel good, do your makeup, show up and become 100%, you're going to deliver 100%. If your hair looks like the pigeon, you're going to deliver at the pigeon level. If your hair is at the eagle level, you're going to deliver like a soaring eagle, right? It just is. And people are more ingrained in the fact that this is normal behavior. It's just like the Louis Vuitton Neverfill. It becomes normal that is normal. And if we go back to the beginning of the podcast, we could thank Jersey Shore for that too, right? Like they made it normal. They normalized it. It's about you stepping out of your box of comfort and telling your clients about it. Um, the other piece to this puzzle is I've trained on this at hair schools, and I also talk about this in my extension trainings, is like, are you the hairstylist that comes in and sees that you've got 3 haircuts on the book and you're like, oh, today's going to be one of those days? Or are you the hairstylist that comes in, sees 3 haircuts on your book, starts researching if the client is a recurring client, what other services they've had by you and what they've liked? Or don't research them at all. Think of them in your head and think of their hair and think of what other services can you deliver on that day that's going to make them happy beyond belief, that's going to turn them into a raving fan. They're going to write 10 5-star reviews. They're going to send 20 of their friends to you because you're freaking amazing. Pigeon or eagle, where do you stand? You got me? You understand what I'm talking about? Like there is a method to the madness of becoming a successful hairstylist behind the chair. It's not for settling what is on your books. It's for taking what's on your books and thinking of how you can make it better and service your clients better and give you the better paycheck that you want to take home. Yes, you may have gotten into this business because you love hair, you love skincare, you love beauty, but it's not a hobby, it's a career. And if you want to make money behind the chair, these are the steps that you got to take and things you got to be thinking about. You are 100% a salesperson 24/7 when you are in the hair industry. Again, contrary to public opinion, I've seen it out there where it's like, I'm not a salesperson. If people don't just come to me because they like what I do, then I don't want them. No. If that's your mentality, good luck. Enjoy the pigeon life because it takes a while to build up to being recognized as being the greatest of the great within your salon behind your chair. You really got to put forth the extra effort, like I said, showing up, looking the part, being the part, delivering good customer service, delivering a good product. All of those things are sales. Like you go to the grocery store, if you look like shit, people are not going to notice you. As a hairstylist, you need to have the ability to talk to people and to step out and tell them about you. If your hair looks great, it's an open opportunity for sales as a hairstylist. I go to the grocery store, my husband won't even come with me anymore because it takes so long to get through the store because someone's going to comment on my hair. It's a given. Honestly, I'm actually kind of depressed if I get through the grocery store and nobody has said anything about my hair, but I also make myself approachable. When I see people, I smile at them. I'm not flirting with them. I'm just like being welcome. I'm opening the door for them to approach me, to talk to me. And obviously, I could talk to a wall. I could talk to Zoom all day long, right? So talking to people is easy for me. And um, and once the door is open to start talking about things, if it's my hair or their hair, whatever, the next thing that comes out of my mouth is that I'm a curly hair specialist and that I'm a salon owner and I do hair behind the chair. That's the win. That's what gets them in. And I just keep building on it, building on it. It's always that same thought process. So, have you ever read the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie? This is so like, um, it's a child's book, but honestly, in any industry that you have to sell yourself or sell something and you want to build upon it, that book is like the second coming, right? If you give a mouse a cookie, what's the first thing that they're going to want? They're going to want a glass of milk to go with it. I believe that's within the first 2 pages, right? And then they're going to want, I'm trying to remember all the pages in that book, but let me just say in my personal story, like if you give Jen a cookie, she's going to want, because I can't have milk, I have a dairy allergy, I'm going to want a cup of coffee to go with it. And then I'm going to want to sit on my couch. And then I'm going to want a cozy blanket. And then I'm going to want to watch a good show. And then I'm going to want to, like the list just goes on and on and on. And it builds and it builds and it builds. So where am I going? Where am I going? How does, if you give a mouse a cookie and I'm an extension artist and so is everybody else, all the clients that sit in your chair damn well do not know that you are an extension artist if you are struggling to sell your extension services. So, what do? You've got to dangle the hair in front of them, or you've got to put them in your own head and talk about how wonderful they made you feel. They will notice that, right? Like if you light up a room and you feel good and you look good, they're going to notice that. That's what keeps them coming back to you for more. You talk about these extensions, and they say now that it's like 8 points of contact before someone buys something, right? So, like, you've got to know that when you become an extension artist, there's time that's built in on this whole front end of building up knowledge, recognition. Like, you've got to explain to the client that you have them. You've got to tell them why they would want them. And then once you get them committed to that, you've got to make them understand why it's important that they keep coming back to you for them. Boom. And this could be the client that was on your schedule for a color consultation. All of a sudden, she's coming into you now tomorrow and she's getting a color package that ranges anywhere from $250 to $450. She's getting in hair extensions that can go from anywhere from $1,000 to $3,500 or more, depending on what you can do. And from there, it just spirals. And that's how, as a hairstylist, you go from being the stylist in the break room that's the victim because the salon is not giving you all the appointments and you're at the pigeon level to you're getting all the appointments because the receptionist, if she didn't even like you, can't shift them around because they're all asking for you and they want what you can deliver at the ego level. Just seems to make sense. You've got to show them the offer. If you don't make the offer, if you don't give the mouse the cookie, he's never going to even know it exists. Give your clients the cookie. Show them the possibilities are endless and show them what the extensions can do for them in their life. And you will have a client that is a raving fan and is with you forever, spending 5 times the amount than the average client getting a haircut and a color. Simple girl math, or take the girl out of it, right? Like, it's not simple hairstylist math on how to grow your business, how to go from the pigeon to the eagle. Do you get what I'm putting down here? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Get the book if you give a mouse a cookie, and you will understand. And that's it. That's it. Do not be the victim in a sea. Be the purple fish that stands out. Like, you can give them the life that they always wanted. It's true, because hair extensions can change your life. And that's that. So, if you don't already follow me on social media, go to Instagram, Jennifer_Johnson_Janisch. That's my personal page. Adored Salon, all one word. That's my salon page. Adored_signature_hand tied_hair. That's the extension page on Instagram. Follow me, comment, like my posts, see what I'm all about. And, you know, another thing, if you've got a friend in the hair industry that's struggling and you feel that this podcast added value to your day, to your career, send it to them if they need it, or just for the fact that you like listening to this curly haired girl talk about life. And give me a review, because that's how this podcast grows. And I would love to grow. So I hope you have an awesome day. I hope the weather is great. The day that I'm recording this on is actually Groundhog's Day, and he didn't see a shadow. I think that's for the first time in my entire life. So hopefully spring is coming soon, because I'm sick of this dreary weather. Hope you have an awesome day. Bye.